Yeah. So now you can print your REF reference. Like in sysout, just give since you have two string method, you should be able to print the entire thing. Just print REF. Yeah. Save it and then execute it. So this time you can see in your Pojo, the data, whatever you shared is getting printed exactly the same way. Maybe to differentiate what is happening, you can just have a sysout difference, or you can to understand what is happening. So this time you see there's one object getting printed, RAM. There's no other object, right? So only one object is getting printed from your file. So in that case, you need to check every time whether you have reached end of file or you're just reading the first line of your file. So for that purpose, what we can do is, you can go into that line number 49. Before that, you can just give a check while true, while is a condition which executes, and within that, you print your data. While true, and within that, give the entire sequence of 50, 51, and 52. And execute it again. Yeah. So this time, if you see, your two data entries are printed, but it ended up with an end of file exception. So EOF is end of file. So we have to handle the end of file. So how do you handle that end of file is, whenever you get that, you need to handle that cache exception. So if you have a cache block, you can handle that in the cache block so that it will not throw you an exception. So what you can do is, in your throws block, just have EOF exception in throws. Execute again. You're still getting it. Okay, in that case, better write a cache block. Have EOF exception, because we're writing explicitly for that. So just have EOF. You can just have a sysout, end of file, something like that. Execute it. So whenever we need to handle the end of file, since we know that the read part, if it's like a value -1, we can control that. You can give your own conditions and handle the end of file. Or if you are pretty sure that you might end up with an error, not sure how many objects will be printed from your object in output stream, then you better handle in the cache block and print a logger message. So we'll see the loggers also a little late, but right now we can use sysout to just confirm that it is not ended up with an exception. So any questions so far in this part? The serializable interface, object input stream and output stream. So how to convert your object and then have. So what happens when you use serializer? So you can't read your file. Your data is encoded and no one can read the data. Only when you read it in the other source or the other extreme, you will be able to read the data from your object. So this is like predominantly used in Java. So whenever you are trying to, in the real-time use cases, if you are working with like kind of file handling things, like where you need to write your own data set, sometimes there might be a case like a bank account number, all these things which should not be exposed outside. Then what we do is, instead of going with buffer reader, we create our own object and we handle it using object input stream, output stream. So the data will not be breached anywhere in between on transitions. So that is the reason we prefer object input stream when it is so crucial and confidential data. Other than that, if it's like normal file handling, we prefer to go with buffer reader or file writers. So yeah, in that case, we have come to a conclusion on object input stream and output stream. So like all the streams part in IO handling. They like in Java 7, we had something with try with cache resources. So far, whatever you're doing in try and cache block, the same thing has been minimized with a single piece of line in the Java 7 try catch resources. We'll explore that tomorrow, and we'll start up with threads concept from tomorrow. Okay, so in threads, we'll be exploring few other concepts, few other variables, few other identifiers which haven't been used, the keywords, and also all the thread related classes, like the string related class. You have learned only string class, and you haven't explicitly learned about string buffer and string writer, or how to differentiate that, and then transient keyword, volatile keyword, what is actually a thread. So we'll experience that. And now in case of this object input stream and output stream, you can try by creating a map object and then see how you are able to read that in this object input stream and output stream. So right now you have Pojo. So I want you to have an object called map integer comma Pojo. And for every integer, you're going to add a Pojo. Like whatever you have done as part of array list, try to create with the help of map. And also we need to experience the CSV and Excel writing, which can be done using the third-party libraries. So parallelly, when we learn threads, we'll also cover up that also. So hopefully by this week, you can have a basic idea on threads and the complete IO handling part. And you can also explore the other methods which you have in your stream classes, but most probably the similar methods available, which is for read and then reset or flush out. All these methods would be as part of write. So the similar methods, only thing is like how we want and in which case we want. That is the only understanding where to use which type of streams. Apart from that, everything remains same. So any questions so far? I think you're on mute to both.
No, Sneha. All okay for me.
Okay, and Janaki, are you clear with this IO handling?
No, Sneha, I'll again rewatch the video and like, to get it
Okay.
more.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you have watch it and try with the map instead of array list, try with map. Because once you are pretty clear on map handling, we'll use the same thing in Excel and CSV. So for that, we need a third-party library. And for that, I need to teach you how to add the additional jars in your Java class or using a Maven. So we'll cover that also by this week. We'll cover that scenario so that you should be able to know how to handle the file related things in Java.
Okay.
Yeah. So in that case, we can end up tomorrow. We'll start with threads concept.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day.